and it's an honor to be here with you, Arthur, and particularly you, as we celebrate today, and to all of you who are with Grupo Bimbo. Thank you for bringing so much joy and sustenance to Texans' lives. I was just thinking, 1976 was a while ago, but one of the first trips I remember taking as a young boy was 1956 in the first grade at Paint Creek Rural School, and we took a little outing to Abilene, Texas, which was, 60 miles away. That was a big trip in those days. And we went to Mrs. Baird's Bakery. And the smell of driving down South First in Abilene, and that just magnificent smell of baked bread will never, ever be far from my memory. I guess in this politically correct world we live in today, we would hate to let that smell get out. I don't know. I always thought that was a good smell. And there are a lot of things that instantly make people think about Texas. And Reed, you said a couple of those names today, but one of them is Mrs. Baird's. Mrs. Baird's bread. That logo it says so many things. It says Texas. It says quality. It says sustenance. It is a powerful memory maker for family gatherings, or maybe just a solo fella making his breakfast this morning with 2 slices of Mrs. Baird's bread. That would be me. 4th of July picnics, Christmas dinners, quinceañeras. Mrs. Baird's has been a staple at all of those celebrations for years and years. It's been a real fabric of this state, and it's made a lot of memories. I tell people, I said, bread's more than just food when you think about it. Just think about how the words used. A person's bread and butter. It's his or her main source of sustenance. While bread and dough can be just cash money. It can be kind of plain and simple too. When people break bread, they share more than just a meal. They come together in body as well as in spirit. It's not surprising that bread has meaning beyond just mere calories. Since the first raised bread was baked in Egypt, I think about 4,000 years before Christ was born, bread has been a vital source of food for people around the globe. Over the centuries, it's traveled, it's evolved, it's reflected both the unity and the diversity of the human culture, the ability of people to adapt to their environment. And boy, in 100 years, certainly Mrs. Baird's has adapted to her environment. And your grandmother's story is certainly one of an unbreakable Texas spirit. As Reed shared with you, a woman who responded to the loss of her husband by standing on her own 2 feet, daring to dream some pretty big dreams in 1908, and working hard to make it all a reality. What started as a few extra loaves a day in her own oven has become this network of giant bakeries scattered all across Texas, providing a lot of jobs for Texans, a lot of food for families, and an iconic piece of history for this state. And I also celebrate today the fact that Mrs. Baird is part of a great company, Grupo Bimbo, and you represent the sort of investment that comes across our borders from every direction, I might add, energizing the Texas economy. In fact, direct investment from Mexico accounts for nearly $1.5 billion in gross property, plant, and equipment right here in the state of Texas. And these dollars, they translate into more than 13,000 Texas jobs. And as I tell my friends in Mexico, we'll certainly take more of that type of investment. So I want to thank all of you here today for your hard work in creating what some have called the staff of life. You know, in the Bible, when the apostles were asked, "How do I pray?" Jesus gave them a form that today is known as the Lord's Prayer. And in it, he encouraged us to pray for our daily bread. So I commend you for answering that prayer in the appropriate way for Texans, so that for 100 years you have been helping us enjoy our daily bread. Congratulations to you for what you have accomplished. And Arthur, here's to another 100 years. God bless you.